Hi everyone, it's Fiona Edgar here. This is a video about the upcoming new moon in Leo, which happens tomorrow, the 28th of July, 2022. Now, we have a bunch of astrological stuff going on at the moment. I have a hunch that this is a new moon that we probably are not going to forget anytime soon. So, what we have that's involved within this configuration is actually the triple conjunction in Taurus that we have. So we've got the North Node, Uranus, and Mars all making this kind of spectacular conjunction. And I have already spoken about that. So if you want to go to uh, my videos, you'll find a video about that. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about it. But basically, what it involves is really big changes, dramatic changes. It could be stuff to do with the economy, it could be changes within the earth, it could be a lot of different things. Now, it is going to be quite challenging overall. So, this new moon is really going to spark these events. Now, the new moon is happening in the sign of Leo. Wherever we have a new moon, we have a new beginning. So, Leo is the sign that is connected to leadership, power, joy, abundance, creativity, royalty. So we're going to see new beginnings in any of those things, really. Now, it is quite a positive feeling when you have a new moon in Leo, but it is being challenged by some other planets here. So, one of the things that Leo is connected to is self-confidence. And I think that a lot of people these days suffer from very low confidence. They've been disempowered in some way. Now, because Leo is one of the archetypes of the father, you may have been disempowered by your father. So this new moon is a chance for you to examine any wounds that you have that run down your paternal line in particular. Examine those and see where you can make changes. So you can experience joy in your life. The inner child is also something that is connected to Leo. So to get to a good place in life, we have to go through a bunch of drama and release old wounds and old patterns that we have been stuck in. Now, part of the thing about this new moon within the chart, there is actually a fixed grand cross. So we've got uh, the new moon in Leo, which is conjunct Mercury. We've got Saturn in Aquarius. Then we have Mars, North Node, and Uranus in Taurus. And finally, we have the South Node in Scorpio. That's a lot of fixed energy. So when we have a grand cross, there is in fixed signs like this is there can be a feeling of being stuck. However, Uranus is coming along with Mars to show us how to break free of this stuck energy. This could be stuff that you've been carrying about for years. Now, I have a fixed grand cross in my birth chart. So the good things about a fixed grand cross is that people are stubborn, okay? And I think it's good to be stubborn because it shows strength of character. uh People are way too wishy-washy these days, and they go with what this person says and that person, this piece of information. It's good to have a good strong center within yourself. Now, self-belief is another thing that's coming in with this new moon in Leo. Believing in yourself, not listening to, this person's advice and that person's advice. So some situation is going to arise where you will have to have a lot of self-belief, belief in yourself. Now, there's a lot of power within this new moon. On a personal level, you may have to stand up for yourself. There's going to be some challenges with the opposition to Saturn there in particular. There's going to be some limitations, some boundaries. But there's also a lot of good energy coming in from this new moon in Leo. But you're going to have to fight to get to the good place. Now, in terms of mundane astrology, which is the astrology of countries, places, and politics, we could see some changes within leadership. There could be some more stuff to do with war in particular because Mars is conjunct Uranus. So whatever it is, it's probably something that we didn't really see coming because Uranus is that planet of chaos and change. Now, Uranus is the great liberator. Whatever Uranus is doing, he wants to come along and free you from a very oppressive situation that you've been in. Okay, so this kind of situation probably caused by people denting your confidence, putting you down, causing this kind of like subtle energy within yourself where you question and doubt yourself a lot. But Uranus is coming along and he's plowing through those kind of like emotional psychological comfort zones that we've got ourselves into. So something is really there's going to be a lot of truth that surfaces over this new moon. Now, it could be truth within your own life or within the world in general, because we're going to be enlightened by this new moon. Okay, so Uranus is about enlightenment. It's about bang, all of a sudden you have more knowledge. You're seeing something clearly, something that was previously hidden. So there is going to be a lot of drama on this new moon. But the best way to deal with this is to definitely stand your ground, but think about it. Also think about it logically. We do tend to be more logical and left-brained on a new moon. Okay, maybe a little bit more cold too. Whereas in a full moon, it's the opposite. Your emotions are kind of like hard to control. So think logically, stand your ground, and just expect the unexpected is what I can see here. So what I'm going to do is go over each sign individually and how it might affect you. But Jupiter is also going retrograde on the same day, which is significant. So Jupiter is the planet of beliefs, foreign countries. War is big here because Jupiter is in Aries, and Aries is the sign that is connected to warfare. So something from the past is resurfacing here so we can deal with it. Now, that something is connected to Jupiter and Aries. Globally, there could be some more flare-ups of war, maybe connected to the Ukraine or something, because it's going back to a point where it was before. In your personal life, you're going to revisit something connected to Jupiter. So your beliefs are going to be challenged really strongly over this new moon period. So Jupiter is also connected to joy and abundance and studying. So you're going to have maybe a bit of drama that flares up so that you can get to that place of joy and abundance. Okay, so let's talk about the signs individually and what's happening for each sign. So Aries, firstly, this new moon is happening in your 5th house. Now, it is going to be more positive for you because Leo is a fire sign and Aries is also a fire sign. So that makes a trine. So if you're an early Aries in particular, this is going to feel quite good for you. So the 5th house is connected to romances. You may meet someone new. Your creative abilities may be really on fire and stimulated. So it could also be about a new beginning connected to your children. If you have any children, you'll be getting some really good ideas over this new moon. Now, where the triple conjunction in Taurus is happening for you is in your 2nd house. So that's your house of finances. Okay, so you could have a massive change in terms of your wealth or your money, how you manage your money. So you could get possibly a new job and you start to earn more money. So the challenges for you really come through the 11th house. The 11th house is about your friends, people that you choose to hang out with. It's also about your kind of vision for the future. So maybe your vision for the future is going to be unexpectedly changed through this lunation. But overall, it should be quite positive for you with a lot of positive change coming in. So for Taurus people, the new moon is happening in your 4th house. Now, this is about your home, but it's also about your past, especially your early childhood and your ancestry. So there's going to be a new beginning or new knowledge that comes to you about your family, You could be moving home. There could be big changes in your home. So the triple conjunction in Taurus is actually happening in your first house. So you, above most people, you're going to be forging a new identity that you didn't really see coming. Okay. So it could be that you move to a different location and then all of a sudden you have this new person, because we all change when we move. So you're going to have challenges within your 10th house, your job, your career. It could also be about your reputation. It could also be about your marital status. Okay, so there's definitely a mixed bag thing going on with you, Taurus. There could be some conflict because of Mars and Uranus there and the North Node. You're definitely out of your comfort zone with this energy, Taurus, because Taurus people like slow and steady and calm, and this energy is anything but that. But just try to go with the changes. So for Gemini and Gemini rising, the new moon is happening in your third house. This is going to be a new beginning in terms of mostly your immediate environment, your neighborhood. It could also be about transport. It can also be about thinking and communication. Your siblings also, there could be some drama that you have to deal with in terms of your brothers and sisters or extended family in general. Now, the triple conjunction for you is happening in your 12th house. So this could be about secret enemy stuff because the 12th house is connected to that, but it's also connected to your ability to forge a connection with the spirit world. Like I always say, the 12th house is where the gods speak to you and you can hear them. So you're going to have some enlightenment or spirit communication that comes to you around the time of this lunation. Where your challenges are is your 9th house. So what's going on in your 9th house would be connected to your beliefs. It could be about travel. Travel plans might go out the window here if you have any. It could also be about learning. So higher learning is going to be affected here. So it could be that you are finding something difficult that you are learning, or any other reason connected to the 9th house. Could also be about law and the legal system and all of that. So it's a good time for you to do some self-reflection. You're going to get stuff from your subconscious coming to the surface, and also pay close attention to your dreams. So for Cancer and Cancer rising, the new moon is happening in your 2nd house. This is a new beginning for you in terms of your finances, your money, there's going to be a positive change here. Maybe you're taking the spotlight more because Leo is connected to that, and you start to earn more money. Give yourself a little push here. So if there's a promotion, remember about the confidence, go for something, try something different, and try not to talk yourself out of it, which Cancers will do a lot, because a lot of Cancers are actually lacking in self-confidence. So give yourself a little push here. The triple conjunction is happening in your 11th house. You're going to have some big changes here connected to friends, groups. There could be a bit of drama there. Also, your life could take a completely different direction that you didn't really see coming here. So the challenges for you are really coming in your 8th house. The 8th house is about loans, credit cards, mortgages, and can also be about shared finances, money that you share with your partner. So that is going to be a challenge for you over the next few weeks. Now, it can also be about your sex life. The 8th house is your sex life. So you have a bit of an issue there. Also, the occult, maybe some spiritual attacks going on, or some weird stuff. So it is a time to kind of put up your spiritual protection, especially for Cancers. So there are many different ways. There is a video that I made about spiritual attacks. If you look on my channel, it's one of the most popular videos. So for Leo, of course, this energy is happening in your 1st house. It's concentrated about your identity, your physical body. It's also connected to the way that you see the world. So that's all going to be changing here. New beginnings in maybe your appearance, or the challenge for you is your 7th house. So what I could see here would be some issues with a relationship, or there could be a new relationship that's starting here. Okay, that's not going as fast as you would like, but there's a lot of negative thinking here for you in particular. You have to try and not talk yourself out of things that are connected to your relationships, right? So if you look at the relationship that you had or have with your father, that is causing this negative self-talk that you have and possibly keeping you back from a happy relationship. So keep that in mind. So the triple conjunction for you is actually happening in your 10th house. There's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of change pouring into your 10th house of your career, your public reputation, and your status. So there could be a status in your relationship, for example, status change. Okay, so for Virgo people, the new moon is happening in your 12th house. Okay, so you possibly be spending more time alone. You may be more lacking in energy, a bit more lethargic. You may be feeling more kind of emotionally not wanting to socialize very much, more inwards, more reflection. You could also be getting some insight over stuff that you do to yourself that is actually quite negative, and you could get some kind of flash of enlightenment about that stuff that you do, or the way that you think that kind of is not very good for you. So the kind of triple conjunction here is happening in your 9th house. Your 9th house has got to do with learning. Maybe some Virgos are going to be taking a course that's really going to change the rest of your life. Your beliefs in particular are, you're going to get a real sudden change in terms of your beliefs. Also travel. If you're traveling around the time of this, you could have some experience in a foreign country or with a foreigner that really kind of rocks your world and causes all kinds of both good and bad stuff that happens. So the challenges for you really are your daily routine. It's your schedule. It's your 6th house. I mean, you may be a bit bored. Okay. The feeling that I get from this is that you could be a little bit bored. You could also have a bit of a flare up of health issues here, right? So take care of your health over the next few weeks. Don't worry, it's probably nothing serious, although that will depend on everyone's individual transits. So a bit of boredom for you, but what you really should do is to go inwards during this time, do some meditating or rituals or spending time in nature. Now for Libra, the new moon is happening in your 11th house. This is a new beginning connected to your friends, the people that you choose to hang out with. You may be making new friends. You could join a new group also. So the triple conjunction is happening in your 8th house. So if you have a partner, there's going to be a massive shakeup with them, right? Because the 8th house is also connected to the intimacy that you share with another person. So it's kind of like when your partner experiences something quite dramatic, you also will feel that. So you could be feeling this shakeup, this dramatic energy that is connected to your partner in some way. Now, the challenges that you have here are the 5th house. The 5th house is about your kids. It's also about your recreational activities. So there may be not a lot of fun happening. Maybe you're a little bit bored here. You could have some challenges connected to your kids. And there could also be some issues within romance. So for Scorpio, the new moon is actually happening in your 10th house. Now, it does make a bit of a square to your sign, so it could be a bit of tension or difficulty connected to that. So a new beginning in the 10th house would be a new beginning in your job. First and foremost, it's going to affect your career, right? So you may have more power within your career. You may be settling for something that is kind of beneath you in terms of your job. Then Uranus comes along to kind of liberate you in some way, and you end up in a job actually that you're much better suited to. Okay, so it's all about the confidence with this new moon in Leo, and not settling for the stuff that, you know, is beneath you. So the triple conjunction is happening in your 7th house. So you'll have a lot of change there connected to relationships. They may be a bit unsettled over the next few weeks, but ultimately this will free you in some way. You're both going to be feeling more free after this is done. So your challenges is your home life, right? It's your 4th house. It's stuff that really is connected to your family line, ancestry, your early childhood. It's all of those things that are possibly keeping you back in particular. Okay. There also could be changes within your home, like probably not moving, but maybe some difficulties in terms of the structure of your home. So for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, the new moon is happening in your 9th house. There's going to be a new beginning here connected to your beliefs in particular, and also higher learning, traveling. So this should be a pretty good one for you because Sag is a fire sign. It makes a trine to Leo. So you could start a new adventure, which Sagittarians love. They're always on an adventure. So maybe you decide to travel. Maybe you break free of some oppressive situation that was stopping you from traveling and feeling free, because the triple conjunction in Taurus is happening in your 6th house. That's going to be something about your daily routines, your daily schedules. You're going to have a big shakeup here. So ultimately, whatever will happen, you will actually end up feeling much more free afterwards. Now, the challenges for you is your 3rd house. It could be your vehicle, it could be your transport, it could be your neighbors in some way. But overall should be pretty good. So for Capricorn, the new moon is happening in your 8th house. So you could have a new sex life. You could have this new intimacy that bonds you with another person. The 8th house is nothing fluffy or superficial. It's the death and life and rebirth house. It's about sex. It's about deep bonds that you have with other people, deep emotional ties. You could have a new one forming with this new moon. The triple conjunction is really happening in your 5th house. This really smacks of new romance that is intense and passionate and very deep. It's nothing, it's nothing fluffy or casual. It's something that's very intense. The challenges that you will have will be connected to your finances. So just watch your money for the next few weeks. Okay. Don't let this new romance or passion or whatever it is carry you away to the point that you forget about your finances. I know that Capricorn does not tend to do that, as it is a stable sign that is focused on finances and structure and building for the future. But just be careful about that. So for Aquarius, the new moon is happening in your 7th house. You could have a new relationship. There could be a new beginning within a partnership. Now, it doesn't have to be drama all the time. Like some people have been married for 50 years, like my parents have been married for over 50 years. So when a new moon happens, in one of their 7th houses, it doesn't mean the end of a relationship and the beginning of a new one. It just means a different phase of that cycle for a small amount of time, because that is what a lunation is. So you could have a bit of a change there, or you could have a new relationship if you're single. So it is a good time to go and look for someone if you've been lonesome. So the triple conjunction is happening in your 4th, right? The 4th house is about your home. It's about your family line, your ancestry. There could be something that surfaces here, maybe going way back, or a problem that you have dealt with in the past that comes up again to be dealt with once and for all. Because the 4th is about your past, your general past. When you've got Mars there and Uranus and the North Node, something is going to come up again. It could be from a past life. Past life is also the same as your ancestry, because we reincarnate as our ancestors. So the challenge is for your 1st house. Now, it's about keeping your own identity, your own sense of freedom, which is so important for Aquarius people. They need to feel free. They like to be, don't get too close here. Of course, you can forge deep, intimate bonds with another person, but only if that person is willing to give you the freedom that you require. So finally, for Pisces, the new moon is happening in your 6th house. This is just going to be some shake-up or change or new beginning connected to your daily schedule. Be careful with your health over the next few weeks, because the 6th house is connected to health and diseases and just feeling under the weather in general. Now, the triple conjunction is happening in your 3rd house. So this is going to be some change with your neighborhood, your car. There could be a big shake up there. There could be some dramatic change with your siblings, your cousins, or your extended family. Now, the challenge for you is your 12th house, right? So that when you have the 12th house as your challenge, it's not going to be immediately obvious for you. The 12th house is where things are hidden. It's the blind spot. Unless you're an astrologer or you consult an astrologer, it is hard for you to really understand what it is that is lurking in your subconscious and what is hidden. Okay. So what is happening here is that some fear or negative emotion or something that you're not particularly aware of is keeping you back. So a good thing for you to do, now this could also be connected to health issues. So health issues are very much connected to your emotions and past traumas, which a lot of people block out. They don't necessarily remember them. So good things for you to do over this new moon period, Pisces, would be to do some meditation, consult an astrologer to examine your 12th house. Or if you're skilled in astrology, you can also look at it yourself. So get to the bottom of those things that you're not really aware of, that you're kind of doing, that keeps yourself back. In particular, your confidence, knocks your confidence in some way. So that was it for all of the signs. I hope you enjoyed that. Do let me know in the comments. So if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, because YouTube doesn't really notify a lot of people, or you miss my videos, and I'll be making them soon. I am going to make a video soon about the best relationship aspects that you can have in astrology between two people. So do look out for that. And you can follow me on Telegram. I am off at the moment, but I'll be back again soon. But I usually make daily astrology voice clips on my Telegram channel. So the link is below. You can also become a student of mine. I do private tuition. I have over 20 years of experience within astrology. I've been a professional astrologer since 2013. Some of my students have already gone on to become successful professional astrologers. Now, I am going to be doing something new, as I am going to be teaching astrology via a group, which is going to cost less, but you will have to share me with other people. It's probably going to take about 4 months, just small pieces of information every day. So keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. But yeah, I hope you have a marvelous new moon. Just expect the unexpected. Stand your ground. Make sure that you place value on yourself, even when other people are trying to diminish you. So that's it for now. Back soon. Love you all.